Fighter League returns.
Yes, sir. There it is.
24 of the finest players in the region. That's legend.
But only one team can walk away as champion.
Oh,
And he moves on with more points for his team.
Hold on, play goal.
I dare you. Come on.
Now he took a combo.
Oh,
Take those.
we take those.
We take those, baby.
What a comeback. You can't write this stuff.
You can only witness it here at Street Fighter League.
One hit will give his team the advantage.
Bright shining stars coming together.
I dare you. Find me better Street Fighter.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Hollywood Rob TV, and I'm joined with my esteemed co-host, the one, the only, Sajam, and I would like to welcome you all to the official Evo 2024 Street Fighter League panel. Make some noise if y'all ready, baby. Come on. Come on. Sajam, how we feeling, bro?
Well. Not only that, but everybody walking by. I see lots of people walking by. They got things to do, to other booths to check out and stuff like that. We have goodies to give away for everybody out here.
okay.
We got goodies right
You
here.
came with gifts. You ain't
We
came
got goods.
empty-handed.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, you got to do it. So
Hold on.
anybody out there want a shirt? Who wants a shirt? Raise your hand.
Y'all want some exclusives? Oh, it's a lot of hands out there. Hold on.
Oh, I think I
Let
hit
me
him
see that arm, Sajam.
I hit him right in the hands.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm going deep.
Oh, deep.
Ooh. My form look kind of bad. Hold up. Come on.
Wait, I'm gonna.
We gotta get
I
the
gotta
front
do
row,
some
too.
over there. Oh, they're throwing some
We
over
gotta
there.
get the
All right,
front
I'll go
row,
this way.
too.
I'll go
Where
this
we
way.
going with it? Look. Okay, hold on. Look, somebody had nerve look offended. Like, where we going with it? All right, behind the back. Come on. Did somebody actually get that?
Wait, somebody got married.
Okay, he got it. All right, bet,
Oh,
bet,
they're
bet.
getting married right there. That's the bouquet.
Oh, what?
The Street Fighter bouquet.
Bro, that's actually awesome. And there's a little kid right there in the middle, and we don't have any more T-shirts.
Oh, that's Rob's fault.
Jesus Christ, AJ, what did you do? All right, moving on the show. I got you later, brother, after this. Just make sure you holler at me.
Yeah.
But with that being said, today we're going to be talking about some Street Fighter League, but we can't do that without bringing up some of the biggest players in the world today. Ladies and gentlemen, I think today we need to start things off with bringing up our players, AJ.
Yes, we have some players for you all to come up. They're on the side of the stage right there. I see him. He's actively downplaying
yeah.
Ken. He is
Always.
currently.
Oh, I'm so tired of it.
He went from top 5 to top 7 to top, how many characters in the game? 22. He's like going down and down and down. So, of course, our very first player coming up to the stage is going to be Phenom. Never cheer for a Ken player.
Phenom, the absolute king of downplay, of course. And then, of course, as if the Moose's star power is not enough, we, of course, got to bring out the reigning and defending Evo champion, hailing from the Middle East. Make some noise for Angry Bird. Oh, yeah.
He got those 10 a.m. pools. I saw him there nice and sleepy.
Man, my man's Angry Bird, and then he's always so calm and nice. His in-game persona and out of the game is completely different, polar opposite. The humble beast. What's going on with you, bro?
You have to mash on wake up like he does. You have to be nice as a human.
That's true.
You know
You
what I
gotta
mean?
balance it out a
Yeah.
little bit, say Jam.
The yin and yang.
That's completely understandable. Who we got next?
Speaking of which, our
Oh.
next one, a fan favorite from people all over the world. He says the world is for this man. Of course, we have the 2-time Capcom Cup champion, Mena RD.
Oh, that
Pulling
boy's-
up.
Oh, hold on. What he got on?
Hold on, what's he wearing over there?
Look at that. Okay, one look at the polo. We see the chain.
Wait, he was talking about gamer fashion, right?
Oh,
He's
you
tweeting
right.
about gamer fashion. He's tweeting about gamer
We can see the
fashion.
boy he getting to the paper. That's an interesting hat he got on too. Mena RD. What's going on?
Gamer
with you, bro?
fashion, gamer fashion.
Okay, my man looking clean and all that. And now, I gotta bring out one of my closest friends in the scene, of course, and a fan favorite, the leader of the chair streams, Shopify Rebellions, Knuckle Dude. I don't understand how he does it. He has a 24-hour stream. People always in there enjoying themselves and everything.
They're
And
probably live right
sometimes-
now.
I bet he's live on Twitch. Dude, are you live on Twitch right now?
Yeah, I'm live right now.
Your chair. What up, Knuckle Loose Chair? How goes it, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. Of course, we have some lovely players representing EU, EMEA, North America, but we have to represent Japan as well. So our first Japanese player coming up to the stage is, of course, going to be the legend himself, the Dream Combo Specialist, Momochi.
Come on.
For all you Ed players out there, he's hitting that combo right now.
You know one of my favorite matches of all time? For people who actually was watching Street Fighter 4 for real. Stunfest, Momochi versus Daigo. Kim versus Evo Ryu. Phenomenal.
Incredible. This guy's the GOAT. I watch him practice Ed combos in training mode 12 hours a day.
That's ridiculous. And the creator of the desync combos. That's wild. Okay, and speaking of innovation, we cannot talk about that without bringing up this next player from Japan, one of the Japanese fighting game gods and Zangief extraordinaire. Make some noise for Itabashi!
The Zangief legend himself. You know, Kobayan couldn't be here. We got Itabashi instead. We got the old man here turning.
Is he not at Evo in general?
He's not here.
That's actually a crime right now.
You know they're all happy.
No.
Itabashi Zangief up on the stage. So, can we give a round of applause to all of our players joining us for everything today? Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, yes. Okay, cool. I'm gonna plop down by Knuckle so I can troll you a little bit. So, ladies and gentlemen, of course, today we are going to be talking about some Street Fighter League overall. Of course, some of you guys are Street Fighter League EU, Street Fighter League United States, and of course, Japan. In general, team tournaments is not something that's been around forever in the world of Street Fighter, man.
Yeah,
and to this level.
I mean, even this weekend, right? Evo's a singles tournament. So it's all about the individual player most of the time. But as I'm sure you guys watched the SFL finals, EU got washed at the end of last year, of course, thanks to EU. Shout out to Fina.
Oh, my goodness.
But of course, NA looked really
you
great.
Let him say that?
Yeah, NA and Japan had that awesome finals. EU, I don't even remember what happened to them. They didn't make it there, of course. That was fun to watch. We're gonna
respond to this.
Oh, do you have?
Was busy preparing for Capcom Cup, so I wasn't at my best.
No.
Oh, I see.
He put himself over. You got to put yourself over the team sometimes. Is that how it works?
I guess we'll have to find out, you know? And that's the cool thing is that we normally always have individual brackets. So having team tournaments is always really fun, and I feel like especially, you know, for everybody here, it's a unique experience, a new experience.
Yeah, you know, and speaking of experiences, this is how we're going to start off the panel today, y'all. I want to ask you guys about your favorite moments from Street Fighter League history. Who do we actually want to start with? I think I'm going to go ahead and start with Knuckle Dudang. So what's one of your favorite moments from Street Fighter League in general? All time.
I would say just the team aspect is really cool because, you know, we enter so many tournaments in a single-man tournament. So when you're playing for a team, it's like a different pressure.
Yeah.
And when you win, it's a different kind of high. And I really enjoy that aspect of Street Fighter League is the team aspect.
Yeah, I was going to say, for Mena, I was going to ask you the same question. I have a feeling I could guess your favorite Street Fighter League experience, but you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, it's easily the finals against Nasser. I feel like that's definitely the best Street Fighter I've ever played in my life. And it's one of the best sets of Street Fighter, period, in my opinion. Yeah. So I don't know, the way it ended versus who it was with the history we had, I don't know. I just feel like it's really hard to top that moment, you know?
Okay, and then over there on the Street Fighter League Japan side of things, man, Itabashi, do you have a favorite moment from Street Fighter League up to this point? And you can actually grab from a shout out to our translator as well.
Our lovely translator, thank you very much.
Last year, my main character, Marisa.
Yeah.
But I pick Zangief just one time against Mago-san. I defeat him. I'm very happy.
Yeah, I like that. All you got to do is be Mago and you're feeling good, right? You're like, yeah, total thing. And the last person we want to check in with was Phenom, actually. You want to talk about your favorite experience with Street Fighter League? You had Street Fighter League. Obviously, you played in a couple of different leagues, and now you are in the EU League, so you have any thoughts, your favorite moment experience?
I think my favorite experience is winning SFL EU. So I was really happy winning that. So I would say that's my favorite, yeah.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. One thing I actually wanted to ask, and maybe we can get like a short answer from a bunch of people. What do you think your best and worst quality is as a teammate?
Ooh, that's fire.
What about, we'll start with Angry Bird. Your best and worst quality as a teammate?
Well, you ask me that question.
Yeah, you go first. What's your worst quality? Do you wake up in the morning, you got bad breath, you gotta brush your teeth? Like, what's the problem for the team?
Problem with the team, you mean?
Yeah, for you.
You as a teammate.
Yeah.
Me as a teammate.
Yeah.
Like the pressure.
Yeah.
I hate the pressure because the team tournament adds a different pressure to you.
Yeah.
And the team members depend on you and winning, like especially if you go the anchor match, you hold the biggest weight of that match.
Yeah.
So there's so much pressure on you, especially if it's playoffs.
Yeah.
So but like I've played that so many times, so I got used to it.
When you're like gonna be the anchor match, are you like, nah, you got it, or you're like, yeah, I'll do it, guys, like I'll put it on my back?
No, like every team I've been with, like we discuss between us who should go depending on the matchup, depending who's confident in that scenario. Like I remember, like I've teamed with Problem X, I've teamed with Samurai, I've teamed up with Mena too. Like it's with Punk and Nephew. It's all been the same, discussing between us who can go to the anchor.
Yeah.
And like whoever is confident and good in the matchup, he can go.
See, I was actually gonna go to Mena next
Because
You-
he's got
you
this look
read
on
my
his
mind.
face, right? He's got this look on
smiling,
his
he got
face.
the smirk,
He's got
yeah,
this
like a
smirk.
devilish.
Yeah, I gotta know. He's been thinking about it. What is your thoughts on this answer? Your best and worst qualities as a teammate.
Mine, I will definitely say the best quality I have is that I work really hard. Like, I strategize way too much for Street Fighter League, even months ahead. Even now, I'm thinking like, how am I gonna counterpick this guy, this team? Who do they lose to? So you can ask any of my teammates. That's just who I am. And I say the worst quality is actually kind of the same thing because it's too much pressure.
Yeah.
So as a teammate, you feel like you're not doing enough. Like, bro, if you don't win, it feels like, oh, I let the team down or whatever, you know. So I feel like I can get way too into the zone, too serious, and make my teammates feel pressure. So I got to work on that, on making my teammates like feel more relaxed, you know.
I like that.
Okay, and now, you brought up the anchor spot. You talked to Angry Bird on anchor spot. I feel like even though it's a team tournament, come on, bro. A lot of us here has played like a team sport or something like that. I feel like there has to be some type of individual ego. So I do wonder, how do you guys, has there ever been a time where maybe your team did good? Can your team do good, but you not be happy because you didn't personally play well? I can ask Momochi that first.
桃地選手、全体ストリートファイターリーグの中で、チーム全体がいい結果を残したけど自分自身ちょっと悪い結果になってしまったなっていう場面があると思うんですけど、そういう時のメンタルの保ち方みたいなのがあれば教えてください。
そうですね。去年の SFL が自分個人の結果がすごい悪くて、チームメイトはすごい良かったんですね。その時にやっぱり申し訳ないなっていう気持ちがあるんですけど、SFL に関してはやっぱりこうチームでの勝利が一番第一優先なので、もちろん自分が勝つのが一番いいんですけど、自分が負けてもこうチームメイトがその分勝ったりとか、自分の負けがこうチームの勝利のこう要因の一つになったらそれでいいので、なんかそういう意味であんまりこうへこまないようにっていうのは意識はしてるんですけど、へこんじゃいますやっぱり。はい。
So he was saying last year actually his team did really well, but personally he didn't really win that much. He didn't do really well last year, which he did feel really bad. But as Street Fighter League, like winning as a team is mostly important. So even though like he might have not get like really good results as a team as himself, as long as the team did good, he tried to motivate that, like, you know, make him motivate by like his team win. But honestly, I felt really bad. He wanted to do good.
Is that how it pretty much goes for everybody? Like if your team is good, but if you feel like you're not doing good, it's kind of like you still kind of in a negative mood.
No. Look. When I teamed with Angry Bird, the team was broken, right? It was Big Bird, Angry Bird, Kava, and I. So it was really hard to choose an anchor. The issue was not the anchor match because we knew before we played, who was gonna fight with the matchup. The issue was the tiebreaker if somebody lost, because if somebody lost, for example, Angry Bird, this guy right here. You will have to convince him, like, Habibi, I have him.
Really?
I have him this time, Habibi. You can ask Kava. So we had to convince him. Amjad, I don't know. This guy is playing different. We had to have the real discussion. Same thing with me. Like, it's hard to deal with the tiebreaker because are you gonna trust your player or are you gonna try somebody else? I think that's the most difficult spot actually.
That's interesting. Hold up. So, Angry Bird, when he asked you about what's your worst quality as a teammate, you kind of danced around it. In the end of the day, you want to take that last shot.
Listen to this. It happened one time with me and Mena. He lost to Punk, and then he told me to go. I wanted him to go back because I thought he would go back, but he told me, no, you go instead. And then I played with Punk and then I won that match. And then like a couple of weeks after, I played with Chris CCH. He destroyed me 3-0. And at the same day, I was playing with Mena and I was doing amazing. I'm like, there has to be something wrong in this. I was practicing with Mena and I was so confident in the Luke Ken matchup. So I'm like, no, I got this now. please. And then Mena said, I trust you, go. And then I go and I win like that match.
Yeah.
So it all worked out. It all worked out.
It
all
worked
worked out.
If the player's good, you know, it's good at the end of the day. And it's very fun to have those discussions. That means everybody's good to do it. You know, I prefer that than having
Versus
to go
you know
even
for
if I don't
sure.
want to,
That's
you
a
know?
good point.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
teammate loses and they're like, oh, who cares I lost? You got this, bro.
Yeah.
You go in there, you're just like,
It's all you.
yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was gonna ask actually on that topic, for your team, you guys have a lot of really stacked players and stuff. But what is the process like of being a team leader on Street Fighter League? So some of you have been leaders on Street Fighter League and stuff, right? What's the process of being a team leader, and also the process if you're not the leader of trusting your leader and being like, okay, this person is gonna make the choice, or do you all work together on it, or do you just look at the leader and be like, all right, what's the plan here? How do you select that kind of stuff?
I feel like it's all about where do you shine the most. You don't really need, you see like traditional sports, everybody has a position. I feel like you can do that and you can make a player shine way more than what you expect him to, you know? If I make sure that I put you in the right away matches where you can't be counterpicked, or I make sure to send you in the matches that you feel confident at, then you can have an amazing record and do good for the team. But if I'm just winging it, if I'm just going crazy, and I'm the leader and I don't have the strategy, I'm just like, guys, who want to go, you know?
Yeah.
Then it won't work out. But you have to know what you want for the team as the leader. That's how I feel.
Bro,
like-
you know that actually transitions perfectly into the team builder in the first place. Because I wonder, how do y'all even put teams together? Like, you know, Street Fighter League, there's so much money on the line, and even, of course, just like the accolade of Street Fighter League, right? So, like for NuckleDu, for example, I feel like you've always been the leader of your team every year in Street Fighter League, right? So, one, how do you put your teams together, and why is it that you don't ever build like a super team?
So, I'm sorry, what was your question?
NuckleDu Dang! I said, why? Like, so in general, you haven't built a super team. Like, why is that? How do you go about picking your teammates, and why don't you pick like you, Punk, Mena all together, or something like that?
Yeah. So I try to see who is going to be in Street Fighter League, who's the leader or the team captain. So like Mena, Punk, and I'll view who they struggle with, whether they're an elite player or just like, you know, a known top player. And, you know, if a good example was Zen last year, he wasn't really playing much, but he has a good record versus Punk. So we signed him literally just to beat Punk. And he kind of got washed throughout the league, but the final match against Punk, he destroyed him. So he did his job, and we had the right read on why he was there. So not necessarily a role player, but he like every player has their purpose, you know?
That makes does that mirror how you guys go about your team building? Like, what about for you, Phenom? I know you're the leader of your team. Like, how did you go about building your team?
It's a mix of two things. It's a mix. It's like you try to pick the best players possible, but also you have to think about the team dynamic and how your personalities match together as well. Because like if you have a really good player, but it's a toxic environment in the team, it will affect everyone's ability to perform under pressure. People will feel more pressure. People will feel more uncomfortable in the team itself, and they won't perform as good. So it's very different from like your general 1v1 tournament. It's not just about how good you are. It's also about how good of a teammate are you as well.
Okay, and we gotta bring it over.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing for them. So when they're team building, it's the same kind of thing. Like, what's the team building process, and then is it more about the personality or the vibe of the team, or is it just I want the strongest player, or this player I know that this player can beat Bonchan, and Bonchan's on the other team. We need this player. Like, what's the thought process?
そうですね、皆さんと同じ質問で、チーム作られる、構成されるときに重要視していることあれば教えていただきたいです。
構成っていうのは
Give us the real, Leader Bashi. Let us know.
難しいな。Let me speak in Japanese. なんだろうな。やっぱりバランスだったりとか、あとはやっぱモチベーション高いプレイヤーと一緒にゲームがしたいので、モチベーション高いプレイヤーと一緒になるのはもうめちゃくちゃ大事だなと思ってますね。で、しっかり戦略を共有してチーム一丸となって戦う、そのビジョンをすごい大事にして、もう1年通して戦う、そんな感じをイメージしてます。
So his vision he has is that, so first of all, balance, like the team member balance, he thinks that's one of the most important. Secondary, he think like players who's like very aggressive, who has like motivation to like win and like play at Street Fighter League. He always try to choose those players. So that's like the vision that he always have. And then also the players who like could communicate, like share their like, thoughts and everything. Like he try to like choose those members as much as possible.
Okay, see that's actually fire. Okay. So as far as last year, I hate to sow division because the vibes up here is all good and positive. But last year at Capcom Cup, in the end of the day, it was Street Fighter League EU versus Street Fighter League United States versus Street Fighter League Japan. Everybody for themselves. We saw what happened. Your team actually ended up walking out on top. So I gotta ask, who has the strongest Street Fighter League? Of course, Japan won before. They did. They were the champions. The United States won. Is it all equal? Is it all kumbaya, or is there a strongest league? You can start with you, Minna.
What I have to say regarding who has the strongest Street Fighter League, I feel like at least last year, we're talking about last year, right?
Okay.
Last year, I feel like even if I had failed to qualify, we were still gonna win anyway. And I think that would have happened potentially with the third place too. I don't feel that will have happened with the Japanese teams. So to me, objectively, it might sound biased, but I feel like by far, Street Fighter League US is the strongest Street Fighter League.
By far. Oh,
by far.
Oh, the man is talking. Dang, that's too much energy. That's too much energy. You done throw the whole equipment off and all that. Okay. Mamoshi, what do you? Okay, no, you go.
Yeah, I was
ahead,
gonna say, we should ask Japan the same question. Who do they think is the strongest league?
3リーグの中で一番強いリーグどこだと思いますか？
Japan.
I thought he might be like magnanimous about it or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's the right word.
No, I like that. He just said it's us.
Yeah.
Well, does he want to elaborate why? Maybe what makes him think?
そうですね。日本が強いっていうのは平均レベルは日本が強いと思ってて、リーグ全体のレベルでいうとすごい強いプレイヤー数が多いので日本はすごい強いと思います。ただ勝ち上がってきてワールドチャンピオンシップとかで戦う場合はもうこのふうに素晴らしいどの国にもトッププレイヤーがいて、そういったプレイヤーと戦うときはなかなか日本も今勝ててない苦しい状況だとは思うので、ただ日本は自分は強いと、思ってます。
So as in general, like average skill level, he thinks that Japanese players are like really good. So and as also like a player who belongs to SFL JP, he want to say that like the Street Fighter League Japan is the strongest. But the thing is that like for example World Championship last year, like Mena's team, like the US team won. So like when it comes to like the very high level, honestly the international teams are way stronger. So like on that honestly like US and Europe is doing great. But again like as a Japanese player, he would like to say that SFL JP is the strongest.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And then the last place team of last year's Street Fighter League Championship, Team EU. I was curious, Phenom, if you have any thoughts about which team is the strongest.
Which region, right? For SFL Japan or SFL general. I think overall SFL Japan is definitely the hardest. Their general skill level is way higher than US and EU.
Way harder.
But the best player in the world was in US. So you can look at it like that. Angry Bird and Mena, they were like top 2 in the world during that time, SFL US last year.
Habibi, way.
So
Habibi, US 100%.
So I think overall Japan, but the best players in the game are not from Japan. They're from outside of Japan.
Yeah.
Okay, and what you changing this year? Sage Jam putting little sneak disses out there, like, oh, last year, what happened? Okay, last year was last year.
They're not that sneaky.
What's happening this year, Phenom, with Street Fighter League EU?
Well, this year, I mean, it's a new year, new patch. Maybe things are different this year. Maybe EU is gonna be the strongest region. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I can't really say anything.
All right.
I like it. And outside of now, as far as comparing Street Fighter, we all know again, like we're here for Evo singles tournament. which one is harder and why? Singles competition versus playing in a team tournament. Which one is harder? We can start with you on this, Knuckle Dude.
For me personally, I think the team aspect is harder because you're weighing the weight of your teammates. Like for us, example, when we teamed and you would lose, now I'm holding. Now I gotta carry.
Whoa!
I already got a bad back.
You carry me?
Yeah.
Can we run the tapes?
I would love to. Yeah.
Do you think you were the team leader, or do you think I was the team leader?
It was definitely me, but I never tried to force the leader position. You know, it
Bro,
was always inclusive.
But I was team morale.
I guess, but when you would lose and we would go to team dinner, you would be depressed.
Okay, yes. On a rare occasion I would lose, I would not talk at dinner. But that was rare.
But yeah, I would say the team aspect is harder because it feels more pressure. Like Idom, when he lost grand finals at Evo, he said it was more pressure losing in the team Street Fighter League.
Wow.
Like he was more nervous for that than Evo because we're all, in the comms breathing down his neck, So.
Yeah. Itabashi, what do you think? Do you think that individual tournaments are harder or team tournaments?
個人戦の方が難しいのか、チーム戦の方が難しいのか、どちらの方が難しいか教えてください。
個人戦はやっぱりアベレージの高いプレーをしてどんどんステージ上がっていく。で、ストリートファイターリーグは特定のライバルなんで、そいつを人読みで倒す。ちょっとやっぱプレーの内容が違うと思います。
So first of all, he thinks it's really hard to compare in the first place, cause so in the individual tournaments, like you have to keep winning like of different players who like has different skills, and like the level and the skills just becomes like harder and harder because the more you go up. But for Street Fighter League, so you only play against like specific players, so like all the like strategies like, different. So like it's for him comparing first of all the teams and individual tournaments really hard. So like he can't really say anything about it.
It's both. Yeah, that makes sense. And what do you think, Minna?
Yeah, I'm curious.
I definitely feel Street Fighter League is the hardest tournament in the world because
you won it.
No, because I already won everything too, Capcom Cup,
That's
Evo.
true.
But the team aspect is one thing. The two is the faces because even if you get out of phase one, that's like the US, and you win, you still haven't really won.
Yeah.
Just look at how you're dunking on Phenom. He won Europe.
That's true.
And you still dunking on him. So I mean, like you have to win the world, and it's guaranteed. In an open bracket, upsets might happen. You might not really face the best players that day.
Yeah.
In a team tournament, you're for sure gonna fight the best team. So I think it's just guaranteed difficulty, and plus the team aspect, the pressure. Definitely the hardest tournament of all.
Yeah, it's like the quality of every player is so high. Like it's not like I'm gonna play round 1, round 2 matches. Like every opponent I play will be world class.
No, but not even that. For example, that's one, right? Nobody's gonna have weak players on their team, but imagine like teams are gonna corner pick even if your player is good. Like I had Kava last year, guy lost to JP. It doesn't matter how good he was. They were gonna say even if the JP was worse, it's gonna be like, yo, you have that weakness, and we're gonna exploit it. So. It's messed up, man.
That's a good way to talk about this, actually. Speaking of this, Street Fighter League has had many different formats over the years. I mean, we all remember the year Idom had his character banned literally the whole season.
That was horrible.
Yeah, which
that Birdie was sad.
Yeah,
man.
I forgot he played Birdie too. But that did help him develop a secondary, to be fair, which is probably useful for his Capcom Cup run. But I was gonna say that even now the leagues are not all the same in terms of format. So are there things about other leagues that maybe you would think, oh, I wish our league did that, or vice versa? Is there changes you would make, maybe in the format of your own league, or you look at the other leagues and think, oh, that's really smart, I like that?
I'd like to just say the format has been completely improved from other years, and I'm extremely happy with how the format was last year.
Yeah, I think it was good.
The one thing I was jealous of, the one thing I was really jealous of with Japan was that the playoffs were offline. So I really hope, I feel like that will be an amazing show, man, And when I saw it, there's still videos about it. It was so epic seeing FAV Gaming qualify, So I wish we had that too.
Yeah, I mean, I was locked in every week watching, right? I was like so invested in it because of that, and then offline playoffs, everybody's there, it's exciting, it's always fun to watch. You guys have any thoughts?
On what's harder between team tournament or...
No. This one was just about format difference. So like,
format.
obviously SFL, EU, and NA, and then Japan have different format stuff.
Yeah.
So I was asking, is there a difference in other leagues' formats that you're jealous of? Anything that's different, or something that you wish was, you're like, oh man, I wish they did that in our league, or something that you're like, man, those other leagues, I wish they did it our way?
No, actually, I think the formats are pretty similar. right? Like the way you set up the
Right.
lineup and the tie. I think only in US they always use the fourth player for the tiebreaker. Actually, I'm not sure what I think about that. I don't know, because in EU we could choose whoever we wanted for the tiebreaker. So maybe
Interesting,
like
yeah.
that's something.
Also, somebody can just completely sit out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically. So I think I actually don't know which one I prefer.
Yeah.
I think both have interesting strategic differences, right? So that's like one change that maybe they could change that for EU as well. But
Yeah, because in some
yeah.
matchups, it might just be better for you for the fourth player to go again.
Yeah.
And in other matchups, you're like, oh, I want to change
Yeah.
who we're sending. So
But-
yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, the formats are, if I remember correctly, I think the formats are more or less similar.
Yeah, they're pretty similar now.
Yeah.
They used to be more different than they were now.
Yeah, it used to be like
Yeah.
banning characters and
Yeah.
It
I
was
I
too
don't know,
much.
yeah,
It was
pretty
too much
different.
variance.
Yo, that tiebreaker rule, I feel like everybody should have that because
I agree.
It adds a layer of complexity.
need
Like,
a
who are you
team-
gonna leave out?
Yes.
And if they
Yeah.
do good, against who they're gonna leave out? You know. So y'all spoiled, man. In EU and Japan, I want to see that tiebreaker, and I see a lot of like with the influencer rise in Japan.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
have some players that are there for like pictures. Like, I want to see him play too. You know.
One thing is that I think for the league to be equal everywhere, whatever the format is, it has to be the same everywhere. At least, like whether you want to use the fourth player or not, it just has to be the same everywhere. It's weird if one league has that rule and another league doesn't have that rule, and then they both qualify for the same tournament. You know.
Yeah.
Then, yeah,
Okay, so something that's really important in Street Fighter League, right? So of course there's a whole lot of different teams there. Y'all all there to compete against each other. So when it comes to training wise, like let's say you go something like Evo.
Yeah.
Usually we all meet up in a hotel room, run games and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But you got to compete against each other there, like as a team. Do you guys with your teams not like to play against other teams in casuals and just stick to yourselves, or are you willing to train with other people? And I actually would like to start this off with Momochi, because Japan is known to be like collaborative. But are you collaborative with the other teams during Street Fighter League?
ストリートファイターリーグの外で例えばチーム特許なエボみたいな会場で、そのチームの皆さんとなんか練習したりトレーニングしたりそういうのをなんか心がけたりされますでしょうか。
No, the gameplay.
そうですね、格闘ゲームって一人一人でプレイするものなので、なかなかこう練習しようって集まらないとなかなか練習する機会がなくて、ただ自分のチームだとシノビズムゲーミングだともう常に SFL もそうなんですけど、普段から一緒にやってる仲間たちなので、そこはこう一緒に練習する機会をちょっと作って週1回はこうしようとか、あとは今だと週1回もう SFL に向けてなんかこう作戦会議みたいなリモートにはなるんですけど、ちょっと通話でどういうキャラクターをやっていこうとか、こういう攻略をっていう共有はやるようにはしてます。
So Street Fighter, like fighting games, it is a game that you actually like play by yourself, practice by yourself. Like this is how it's been the whole time. But as his team, he tried, for example, he before like the tournaments or before Street Fighter League or during Street Fighter League, they try as Shinobism, they try to like meet every week and like talk about strategy, also like practice together. They train together a lot of time. So yeah, they try to meet up as much as possible and communicate as well.
Dude, where do you stand on that? That's interesting to see how Japan goes about it with training with other teams.
Yeah, I think it's the way we do it is we're set to play a certain team like in like 10 minutes, so we'll train with other teams that we don't have to play in our immediate path.
That makes sense.
But then we'll eventually have to run into them, but we usually just train with the other teams that we don't have to play so soon. But it's just it's just optimal because like they're all elite level players, so it would be a waste to not play with them and just be sharp, you know?
Say Jam, I'm so sorry. I just remember. I just need to make sure eventually we ask them if they have any personal targets, because I know Min is the king of that stuff. I just gotta know if anybody has any personal targets, like any specific people that you guys want to beat in Street Fighter League this year. Specific teams, players, anything like that.
Look, about targets, all I'm gonna say is, last year I had a target. You know, I told you who it was. It already happened. I feel like I'm the target this year because I'm the champion. And my only target is I have 10 fingers and I only got 2 rings, you know? So I gotta work it all. That's it.
They be talking spicy.
That's it.
Angry Bird, you just gonna sit there and smile, let him talk like that?
Habibi, he smoked me in the finals. I can't say anything.
So do y'all have any specific targets Any people that you specifically want to make sure you take out of Street Fighter League this year, as a player or as a team?
I mean, we are in EU. We are the defending champions, my team. So I think, like Mena said, we are the target that region right now. So I don't have any personal targets. This game is not really that personal for me. I've never had any target in general. So yeah, no, I don't really care about that.
I'm a nice
you
guy.
See,
man.
this why in the World Finals,
Oh, that's why.
He took my line from me.
Come on.
All right, Mena's my target now.
Okay, there we go. There we go. Yeah, Mena's your target.
He pretty much forced it at this.
Yeah. He had to beat it out of him. He's like, all right, it's time.
Well, we got the storylines at this point, man. You guys know exactly what is going on. We do need to make sure we let the people know what is going to be going on coming up with Street Fighter League, Jam.
Yeah, and before we go into the slides, actually, I wanted to ask everybody just like kind of their final thoughts, like going into Street Fighter League this year.
Good idea.
How you guys all feeling about it? Are you excited for it again? I think that tying Street Fighter League to Capcom Cup creates such an interesting additional championship on top of it, right? So, like, I want to ask, it's a new season. How's everybody feeling going into Street Fighter League? Are you super excited for this year? Are you nervous more than last year? Are you feeling confident for it?
You telling me you don't get nervous at all?
You're not nervous? You feeling good?
Are you nervous?
I'm chilling.
Hey, you know them fighting words.
I mean,
are you nervous?
When he said target, I didn't want to say target. I'm sure that there'll be something between those two. Are you nervous?
So
if you make a TikTok video with memes of me dancing, it's over. Don't do that. Don't make it.
No, dude, we'll start with you on this one. Actually, we can even go down the line low key. Itabashi, we have to start with you on this. Itabashi, how you feeling going to this Street Fighter League?
今年のストリートファイターリーグの意気込みなどあれば教えてください。
はい、意気込み、そうだな、もちろんワールドワイドのプレイヤーと対戦したいので、そのためにストリートファイターリーグを勝ち上がって彼らとプレイしたいなと思います。頑張ります。
So this year he really wanted to play against the international team, the EU team, US team. So he really, first of all, he will really love to make it all the way to the grand finals and make it to the world championship. So yeah, he really appreciates everyone's support.
Okay, and we want to hear from Momochi too, but we'll let you. Oh, does he already have the translation for this? Okay.
そうですね、自分も去年すごい悔しい思いをしてなかなか結果が残せなかったんですけど、今年はエドといういいキャラクターを見つけて活躍できると確信してるんで、ちょっと頑張って今年は勝ちたいなと思います。あとは SFL への願いとしてはもうちょっと賞金上がってくれると嬉しいなと思っています。よろしくお願いします。
So last year as himself, he didn't think that he wanted to do a little bit better, not as he expected by himself. So this year, he would like to do as much as possible, but he's feeling really great this year. He just finished his first match for the pools at Evo, and he thinks he's doing really well. He thinks that he could do really well this year, so he's very excited. And lastly, he ended up that, well, he really hopes for this year and maybe next year, prize pool could go a little bit higher.
Oh, my man,
I like that.
want that bag.
Yeah, Momochi trying to get the money.
You gotta shoot.
Yeah, I like that.
Shoot, say Jam.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I hope Momochi gets paid too. At Topanga League, Street Fighter League.
Yes, sir.
Everybody just gets more and more yen. The yen, that tweet. You got to give
yeah.
all the Japanese players
That's true.
snacks.
It's rough out here for the Japanese players. That is true.
That's true.
So
I
if
saw
you
that
guys
tweet.
do see any, no. Knuckle, how you feeling going to this season of Street Fighter League, brother?
Oh yeah, it's cool because like when Street Fighter League ends, it feels like the NBA season where like the trade season starts,
Yeah.
and like so it's cool to see who's choosing different teammates, and same for our team. So the team building process is probably my favorite part. So I'm looking forward to that.
I've been following every dude move. He trying to counter pick me. I'm not gonna let it happen. I'm like Shams.
With the DJ
I
and
know everything.
Okay, you laughed at the idea of nerves and everything like that, bro. So what's your mentality right now going into the season of Street Fighter League?
My mentality is, look, can she translate? I want to say that I wanted to talk a little bit of trash to the Japanese team that I'm going to fight in the World Finals, but sadly Gachikon ain't here, so there's nothing to say.
メナがちょっと日本人のお二人に伝えたいのが、楽しみ、ワールドチャンピオンシップで戦えること楽しみにしてるんですけど、絶対負けないぞとのことなので、もしコメントがあればぜひ。
Do you got any response to that, Momochi? Do you have any response to this disrespect?
まあ今年は多分日本の開催ワールドチャンピオンシップが日本の開催になると思うんで、日本のファンもいっぱい見てると思うんで、メナをそこで倒したいと思います。
So this year, Capcom Copen World Championship is going to be in Japan. So there's going to be a lot of fans there. So yeah, we will. He said, "Well, we will beat you there."
I'll win in Japan again. I'll see you there, Momochi.
日本で絶対勝ちますとのことです。
Oh my goodness.
I'm rooting for Momochi.
That's actually
After that,
ridiculous.
I like it. He said, come to Japan. See me in Japan, bro. Anyway, thanks to all of you for joining us on this panel. Can we give a round of applause for everybody who came up here? And thanks to all of you for checking this out, watching this, by the way. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying us. In case you guys don't know, Street Fighter League is happening this year in the fall for all of you keeping track at home. All 3 leagues will be happening. Tune in, check them out. Of course, we have some lovely stuff to show you guys about that. It's going to be very exciting. I think they announced the dates for NA, I believe, right? It was October, yes. And then the fall for the other leagues. So definitely tune in, check those out. Thanks to all of you for watching all of this and checking everything out so far. And hopefully you have a lovely Evo time.
And also, make sure you guys are checking out the Street Fighter League Combines, which is a whole new system that we got going on. If you feel like you could take these guys on and you just looking for your big break to be on the big Evo stages and all that, all you got to do is pull up and sign up for the Street Fighter League Combines in your region, and it'll be an awesome thing. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I've been your boy Big Hollywood. This has been Sage M, and ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Street Fighter League Evo 2024 panel. We'll see you guys this fall.